Lootcrate, the now infamous subscription service where you send them some money and in return they send you back a monthly box full of geeky goodness. Or rather, they're supposed to send it to you after taking your money, right? So I have done a little bit of a deep dive into what the hell is happening with Lootcrate, nobody getting their items, and just a lot of things going on, and there is some really juicy info that I have uncovered here. It should be worth noting that this video is basically a follow-up to one I did on my other channel, Junk Seeker. I'll leave a link to it down below. If you want to watch that, you can. It's more of my own personal grievances, but thanks to a commenter, they kind of led me down this rabbit hole that we'll be discussing today. Now, I'm not going to be necessarily going over the common complaints that anybody who has ever subscribed for Lootcrate has heard. That, you know, you could just use the money that you spend on it to buy individual things that you know that you want. You also are getting things that you don't know what you're getting, and so it could be things that you're just genuinely not interested in, and it could lead to it being a waste of money. Personally, I don't agree. I feel like the other things that you get in the crate are good for gifts or even for selling, and generally the value that you get in these crates is actually pretty good. And as a bit of a testament to that, as I mentioned in that other video, I haven't subscribed to Lootcrate since 2014 and only rather recently stopped giving them my money. It's more of like a charity case at this point anyways. But to explain what is currently plaguing the Loot Company today, we have to go back to 2019 when they were still known as just Lootcrate. Around this time, their infamy was already beginning. People were starting to see more and more reasons not to pay for it. They were starting to see it was not really worth the money, and the company was of course having multiple customer service issues, not shipping things out, people were receiving broken items or simply missing items very frequently. It wasn't really a good time for them. And in August of that year, they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Now, it's not entirely known what one thing really pulled the trigger on this one. It's kind of like Rome, not one thing took it down. It could be, in my opinion, possibly some of the larger brand deals that they were doing. If you look at a company like Telltale, they filed bankruptcy, and a big part of the reason why is they were, doing these contracts with these massive franchises that they really didn't have the structure to support. Of course, now they're back and I'm happy about it because I really like Telltale. And it could have even been just good old mismanagement and misuse of their money. One way or another, they went bankrupt. Most of the reasons that you could try and find online are just going to be speculation. So with them going bankrupt, that could mean the end of the company, right? I mean, with Telltale Games as an example, that's what everybody thought. That's what it looked like until, I don't remember exactly what happened with them. They had like an investor come in and kind of pull them up from the weeds. Well, in their own words, in their press statement, we hit the new owner lottery. Hey looters, we wanted to share some important company updates with you today. First, Lootcrate has been officially acquired by Money Chest LLC. Who are they? Well, they're majoritarily funded by NECA, the company who owns Kid Robot and WizKids. That's right, we hit the new owner lottery. NECA has been creating one-of-a-kind limited edition collectibles for years, so they understand our business, and, more importantly, what our community wants. Unique offerings, on-time delivery, and high-quality merchandise. With their support, we can deliver more exclusives to your door on time. We now also have a new name. Lootcrate is officially the Loot Company. There's a lot more to share, and we've got a ton of exciting new experiences coming your way, so keep an eye out for updates soon. We love you, the Loot Team. Okay, I just want to make sure I read that right real quick. What our community wants. Unique offerings, on-time delivery. And then they even back that up. With their support, we can deliver more exclusives to your door on time. Yeah, NECA. Thank you for the improvements you've done. So if it wasn't obvious, this buyout just kind of made things worse. So if we just take a little gamble on Twitter over here, you'll see that a lot of people have been getting their crates. It's actually from back in 2019 till today. Some people have been waiting for theirs. Me personally, I'm waiting on one from like about a year ago. I know I'm missing others from further back. I just don't care anymore. Actually, I'm missing like everyone after that too. I think I got one or two after that, and then a bunch more that I just basically donated to the company because I know I won't ever get it. So if you're having issues with Lootcrate, just know that you're not alone, and also know that we're not even to the juicy stuff yet. Now, they would obviously eventually blame a lot of these shipping issues on the virus, making shipping a major problem. Even large companies like Amazon, who are known for their amazing shipping, were having some major difficulties. So Of course, during the COVID-19 situation, as consumers, we all had to be patient with any company that ships things out to you. It was also during this time that customers started to get a bit more critical of the company, taking a deeper dive into the products they were actually receiving. Now, a lot of complaints that were being levied at them were that the products they were sending were much lower quality than what they've done in the past. I personally disagree with that. I think Lootcrate has always been awful and always good. It depends on what you're getting. First off, it depends on, once again, if you are into it. But secondly, they've always had items that were crap. I have it's a wooden pole. It has like a wooden handle on it, and it's painted like Pac-Man, like a child was forced to paint these, with just a bottle opener wedged into the wood. Like, that was a Loot Crate item. And that was like a while back. Loot Crate has always had awful things, and they've always had great things, and that's something that, as a subscriber for, an untold number of years, I could do the math, but I'm too lazy, that you kind of come to accept, and I disagree that they got worse. What I do agree with were the other complaints, that people were getting repeat items. See, the Loot Company, as they are now known, were actually taking items that were in previous Loot Crates from 3, 4, 5 years ago, and recycling them again. And to an extent, I get what they're trying to do. I imagine that most of their subscribers at this point in time were not subscribers 4 or 5 years ago. However, people like me, they're more long-term supporters. We're getting a little burned on this, because we're paying for this thing that has like 5 items in it, and 2 of them were things that we already have that they sent us years ago. There's also some crossover between crates, but that's a little bit less of I don't think you can complain as much about that. Like, you would get some things in the gaming crate, which is what I personally paid for. I did the gaming crate around the time it came out. I switched from the what they call the core crate to the gaming. But they would have some things that are in that month's core crate that would be 2 months from now in that month's gaming crate. So if you're signing up for more than one of these, yeah, you're gonna get some duplicates. So the issue is that as time went on, more and more companies, especially the Postal Service themselves, began to recover from the impact of COVID-19. This meant that even companies like Amazon can get back to delivering items for the most part on time. As an active Amazon shopper, I get most of my items, on the estimated date. It's usually within like 2 to 3 days. And it's not just Amazon. Even eBay sellers are usually getting very good delivery times. Yet for some reason, Loot Crate still isn't. And they still continue to cite COVID-19 as the reason. But then we start to reach more modern times, where things just seem to get worse and worse. See, with customers waiting on crates from over a year ago, they would obviously start taking to customer support if they had not already done so, which they probably should have. It would normally take quite a while, more than most support lines, to eventually hear back from them. Some people reported hearing back pretty quick. I wish I was some people. And about 99% of these customers were faced with responses essentially saying that it is being delayed. Their crate, not all the ones being sent out for that month, just yours. And they would tell you that it's going to arrive the next month. The interesting thing about all these emails that I've been kind of compiling, mine and others, is that they always say it's going to be the next month. Not 2 months from now, not a specific date, just the next month. Then, when it obviously doesn't arrive the next month, the person will complain to support again, like, oh, sorry, there's another delay. It'll be here next month. And they keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. Now, oftentimes, they will at one point or another say, hey, why don't you just go ahead and we'll cancel it so you're not going to get your crate, but instead we'll refund you all of the money that you spent on it in store credit. So you can buy items from their store, items that they got too much of to throw in other crates, and they're now just trying to get rid of their extra stock. So you're getting the items that nobody else wanted. When you buy these items from their store, why would they bother actually sending them? They're not going to send you the actual crate. You already can't trust them. So you're going to take this horrible agreement to get your refund for store credit to buy items that you still won't get. Of course, this all happened to me as well. They offered me store credit. And at one point, when I had already given up that I'm not going to get what I wanted, I was like, no, I'm not going to take store credit. I want them to keep sending me those emails about how it's been 8 months, 9 months, 10 months, but don't worry, it's coming next month. Whenever you kind of stop caring, it can be kind of fun to kind of screw around a little bit, But of course, if you want to know more about my personal situation, other video, it's linked down there. That channel, I actually unbox things. It's mostly Pokemon cards. It's mostly things like this. But I used to do Lootcrate videos on there. They weren't sponsored and I was paying for them, so everything is honest. But that video was also kind of like one of those. I kind of talked about my major complaints, and then I opened the last 5 crates that they had sent me. One of which only contained a t-shirt because they screwed up the order. I really should have worn that shirt for this video, that would have been fitting. So of course, with all of these complaints being levied against them, eventually the BBB, also known as the Better Bean Burritos, or simply the Better Business Bureau, decided to launch an official investigation into the Loot Company. Which, believe it or not, is still not the big news I'm going to be talking about. In fact, I expect very little to actually come out of the BBB investigation. I don't know a whole lot about exactly what they do, but from my point of view, it really seems like it's not much of anything. But now think about it from the Loot Company's point of view. Your sales are declining, your customers are getting angry, the support, your support staff are being way overworked from the amount of people that are complaining, and it's causing the support tickets to take longer and longer wait times. How do you resolve this issue? Well, I mean, how about you just, like, delete your support Twitter and lay off your support staff? No more problems. So that's what they did. Thanks again to this commenter who led me down this rabbit hole. The Loot Company, Lootcrate, deleted their support Twitter. You know how a lot of companies handle their support anymore. It's just gone. And what's funny is that their official Twitter account in the bio, it still links to their deleted Twitter account. So you click it and nothing pulls up. Of course, whenever I go to edit this video, I'm actually doing that right after I get done recording, so I want to get this video out pretty quick. If it has been deleted, I didn't screen cap it, but I will. If it's still there, you'll see it here, where they are still linking to their official support account that doesn't exist. Now, the thing about laying off a bunch of staff, that is technically just a rumor. I am not claiming that this is a thing that has occurred, but rumor has it, allegedly, they have begun laying off a lot of their staff, and a lot of those staff happen to be their support team. But then the news finally broke for the one thing that is most likely causing 90% of our problems with the Loot Company. It should be stated from this point on, talking about this lawsuit, everything is alleged. I am not personally alleging anything. These are all things that are being filed against them. Nothing has been proven in court, and please do your own research on this. I don't want to be tied up in a lawsuit with the same company. So it seems that, allegedly, when the Money Chest bought out Lootcrate for $30 million, they failed to pay $3.5 million in sales tax obligations. This has led to the old owners of Lootcrate to, file a lawsuit because they need that $3.5 million. Now, you would think that their best way to handle a situation like this would be to get their marketing going more, right? Get some more money flowing into Lootcrate so that way they could pay off their debt. That would be what a reasonable person would do. According to this lawsuit, that's not what's happening. So I also should probably say here, this whole lawsuit situation has been posted in an article to Law 360. It is a legal website that actually requires a subscription in order to read their articles. So, sadly, I cannot show it to you. If you would like, I will leave a link down in the description so you can sign up for it. They do a free trial, but you have to have a non-free email address. It can't just be a Gmail address in order to do a 7-day free trial or simply to pay for it. But obviously, I can't show you the article. That would be piracy. So essentially, if Money Chest, in this case, the now owners, or also NECA, who are basically just Money Chest, the new owners of the Loot Company, were to be found guilty of this, they would owe $3.5 million and probably court fees or fines and whatever else. So, if that money can't be paid, they will be taken from their assets. Assets which, we're paying for. It's the items that we're getting in our crates. That's a lot of their assets. It's the physical goods that they are selling. So, what's a way to get around that Money Chest? Well, part of this lawsuit is alleging that they have been attempting to fraudulently move their assets from whatever warehouse the loot company runs out of. I know it's in Texas. To another company of theirs, such as WizKids or NECA. So they can move these assets to another one of their companies and let Lootcrate die. Lootcrate goes down the drain, they no longer exist. It doesn't matter, they still have all of their assets that they can sell somewhere else. So to kind of summarize that, to avoid losing all of their money, they're just moving all of their assets, allegedly moving all of their assets to another one of their companies that, you know, the assets that you paid for and I paid for already, to another one of their companies, where then, when Lootcrate dies, they can sell all of those off back to you again. By doing this, I have bullet points on here, I'm just gonna read this one straight up. By doing this, they can continue to default on their tax obligations to the state of Texas and let the company die off. Like cutting a single dying stem off of an otherwise healthy plant, even if that stem is being supported by thousands of customers. So don't you wish I could just come up with that on the spot and not have to write it down beforehand? So simply put, Lootcrate is dying, and allegedly it is dying intentionally. When the loot company folds and Money Chest loses one of their businesses, it really won't matter to them. So I also want to clear up a little point of confusion that I've been seeing online. See, the loot company, Lootcrate, did a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crate. It was a $200 crate, apparently. I'm happy I'm not a Ninja Turtles fan. And this was sponsored with the NECA, who I guess have like licensing for Ninja Turtles. So the idea from the buyer's point of view is, hey look, Lootcrate is teaming up with NECA to make this amazing TMNT crate, right, for $200. Apparently it was a big hit, and a lot of people were actually buying it. I didn't know there were that many Turtles fans out there. However, it seems that most people have not been receiving them. It seems to be a very common point of contention when looking things up on this company, specifically about this crate. Now, some people have been going to NECA about this issue, saying, hey, I paid for it, where's my stuff? Because the person, you know, these people aren't as well knowledgeable about Lootcrate themselves. Where, apparently, I haven't seen it myself, it's just hearsay coming from these commenters on Reddit and other forums and Twitter. Apparently NECA is saying, hey, it's not on us, we sent the stuff to Lootcrate, it's on them to send it out. And these customers are saying, oh, okay, so NECA is not the problem, it's Lootcrate, we should be going after them. They are the same company! NECA is like the primary funder of Money Chest, who owns Lootcrate. They're saying, hey, it wasn't me, it was actually me. It is actually sad how many people are falling for this, and I can't blame them. I mean, it's not like everyone is doing this incessant amount of research on this kind of benign topic like I did. A lot of people don't have a reason to know that they are the same company, but it's still kind of sad to see they don't realize that NECA and Lootcrate are both a part of the same tribe. Now, of course, anything about this lawsuit could be wrong. These are alleged claims by the old owners of Lootcrate. They weren't necessarily always the best company either, so there's a chance that all of this stuff that I've just informed you about in this lawsuit could be incorrect. They could be lying through their teeth. But based on what we're seeing out of Lootcrate, this makes a lot of sense. They're not sending anything out to us. They're, deleting their support Twitter. They're making it really hard to contact them. It really does seem like they have been trying to collect as much money as they can before Lootcrate dies. Even from an outsider's perspective, from a customer's perspective, this lawsuit answers a lot of questions that we've been having. Why can't we contact anybody? Why are they not offering us refunds up front when we have multiple issues? Why are we not receiving any of our crates? Apparently a large majority of people are having this issue. It's not as small as I thought it was when I did my initial video. It is a huge, widespread problem. If you watch this video and for some reason decide that paying for Lootcrate is a good idea after watching this, and you manage to get your crate, you are one of the very, very lucky few at this point. And despite everything I have told you in this about the lawsuit, them not actually being able to send anything out, not offering refunds but only in-store purchases, deleting their support Twitter, despite everything, they're still marketing their current and future crates. They are still talking about new brands that are going to be in these crates. They're still sending out emails. I believe they're weekly. I don't know. I put them in my spam folder to current and previous Loot Crate subscribers. They haven't stopped their advertising and their marketing. They're like, hey, here's this new... I was looking for a franchise around me, but everything is Pokemon. Assassin's Creed. Here's this new Assassin's Creed crate. We're gonna email it out to everybody. We're gonna post it on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram. We're gonna make sure that all of our current and previous subscribers know that we're doing this huge Assassin's Creed crate. Even though we know that 99% of them are going to go to our site, pay the money, however much it is, and not receive their items. They're advertising air. They're advertising this background. This isn't a background, it's a green screen. And you guys thought I was at the ocean this whole time. So, my little ending points here for my little script thing going on. If you're currently paying for Loot Crate, stop. Just stop. If you've had good luck and you've been getting all of your stuff, maybe consider, take what I said in this into mind and consider stopping. Again, assume any info, especially around the lawsuit, especially around that, is alleged. And please do your own research. This isn't something that I do all the time. I don't usually do these huge deep dives, although honestly, I have loved it, and I kind of want to keep doing that on this channel. But it wasn't that hard for me to do. It won't be that hard for you to do. Look it up yourself. Verify the things that I have stated. If you are still missing crates that you have already paid for but have not received, and I'm not saying you paid for it and it's been 3 days and you haven't got it. We know their shipping sucks. You usually give it like a month. I think that's like their estimated window anyways. But if you're waiting on crates from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, this sounds like backwards advice, but contact their support team first before you do anything else. Let them know about the problems and try and get a refund for your crate. If they say that they are going to be shipping it out at a later date and that it's been delayed, they're just going to keep saying that to you. Push for the refund. Also, I'm just going to leave this here. I'm not giving legal advice. This is just the thing that I found on Reddit. It worked for somebody. They were also in Canada, who has better laws when it comes to customer support stuff. I'm just leaving this here. Lastly, if you can't get a refund from them and you know that they're not going to actually send out to you despite their emails telling you so, contact your bank. Your bank can put a hold on the money. They could even, mark it as a fraudulent charge. They can mark the loot company as somebody that can't charge you anymore. I've also been hearing about people that are getting surprise charges from like tax issues with their payments, where Loot Crate didn't tax it properly or something, and so people a month after buying and getting their crate, if they get it, they'll suddenly get a charge for $5 or $10 because Loot Company fucked up. That's on the Loot Company. That is not on you. They made the mistake. They gave you the price up front. You paid the price that they gave you. They cannot issue you a surprise charge. Again, I'm not trying to give financial advice here. It is in your best interest to contact your bank and maybe even clarify if they legally can do that, because I don't exactly know. I'm not a lawyer. So to end this out, yes, Loot Crate is dying. And my personal advice, what I would suggest to any of my friends, is to stop paying for it, and do not be surprised when another new monthly subscription box service starts making the rounds and you start hearing about it, and you dig into their site, you dig into their company, and learned that they are also owned by Money Chest, and that some of the things that they're sending out are things that Loot Crate had previously promised you and previously sold you. After all, they have to do something with all of those allegedly fraudulently moved assets, right? Assets that they already sold to you.